I'm back and my voice is back, guys. So I'll have this guy over here and I need to continue making this. Guys, time is flying and today is my rest day. And I think today I slept in. I think I woke up at 10 or something. And I'm even making breakfast now. What's the time now? I shall not share what time it is, but like, guys, I feel like I've been able to rest more. I don't have so much external and other people's responsibilities on top of my own to be able to rest. I just realized at home I have this genes from my dad's side where it's so hard for us to just sit. Like if you just sit and chill, like wallahi bilai, I'm telling you, my bones, like my bones are gonna be quite. I'd been paid more the more I'm like just chill, crouched on the on the sofa. I'd rather be hands on. You know, like we're very hands on. We're like either it's farming, either it's doing things, anything to do with my hands makes sense with my woodworking now. Why anything I do with my hands is quite cool. Like it just comes from a generation of people who've been doing that. So it's just conversations I've been having and trying to understand this. But as a creative, to be honest, rest is essential because I feel the more rested we are, the more rested I am. Let me speak for myself. The more rested I am, the more creative juices are just flowing. To be honest, I might be sleeping even more. I might be chilling and watching a movie, and an idea just comes, or I just have the urge. I look at my table, I look at my seat, and I'm like, what if my seat was like this? And I'm like, I just now start imagining and sketching and already flipping a seat that I think I've already shifted my seat here. Like, I don't know, like 5 times already. And in those, it's like every month, it's like I'm sitting and the more I've been resting, the more I'm very aware of the space. So the more I'm like, what was I supposed to do and I didn't do? Or what did I say I wanted to do to improve here? Or am I already too bored with this? That's my biggest issue. I'm just like, am I already bored with how these things look or are set? So let me start switching. So I found myself even switching the panels. Like right now, I've already done it. And on days when I'm rested or like when I'm free a lot is when it just happens like organically because I'm just chilling, you know. So you'll see a lot of smoke. I don't know that's making me look smoky or whatever, but I feel like that's that's what creation is and rest. I don't know. Maybe you guys can tell me how you guys rest. But also sleeping. I've been sleeping very early sometimes. Like I sleep at like sometimes at 9, at 10. I'm blacked out. For someone who is like an insomnia person who was sleeping in the AMs. Nowadays I find myself I'm lying mapema. I've like had to whatever my schedule. But of course there are those days like when I'm here creating music and I'm like and then I go and oh my god, it's 4 a.m. shit. But like I don't know whether it makes sense, but it's so essential to rest. It's so essential. I think also this past maybe let's say 1.5 years, especially when I was at Dimension, on top of how fast we move, I think to universally ilitandikana like just have to prioritize rest days. And the more the rest days were like occupied by more things, the more maybe tired or angry or like sad I'd be because now that was supposed to be my rest chilling day na imepita tu sijaweza ku create music and then that led to me not being able to create at all whether I had the time. So like I'd create as I sneak, like I sneak when I have free time. Tumepeleka watu tumerudi usiku, nimerudi tu nimecreate ama nimerelease because maybe kwa tuna deal kulikuwa tuna man kulikuwa na vitu jingi bana huko it's been, I think it's been a crazy 2 years. And even I remember like at the crib I used to I'd rest, I'd host daily, but at least in the mornings, hata siwezi sema ni kurest because I used to really vacuum the space, set up the space every day. If I have a session, I'm done setting up to record. Hey, it was so many things, and I couldn't rest well. Is it making sense? Ningetaka nilale hii time, mko wangapi kwa nyumba, you know, like kuna nini, kila mtu ana time yake tofauti. Ile time I don't know. Right now is when I'm being very intentional, even when I'm saying my Tuesdays and Sundays. Because if I don't put them, one lie, things will always come up. You either prioritize other people or other things and lose this for yourself. And you know what a beauty to make food for yourself, whether you have money or you don't have money. Like, ili inaonyesha this is, you're taking care of yourself. As you're being able to do this. And most times, like, we're just so busy in life, and I've realized, regardless how busy, regardless how many, there's so many commitments, like, at the end of the day, ni wewe uamue na ni wewe utasiti na hizo vitu zote. So what path are you choosing? And for me, this is the path I'm choosing, and I'm being very intentional with it. And we go as we go. Let's see. Yeah. For me, as I've been working on myself, I've just realized I was very akisiko. I didn't have boundaries. It's so sad, but like, it's so sad, but like, it's so true. I didn't have time, boundaries once, so I could do anything. That's why I could just allow. And when now I'm looking back, it's like there's so many things that led to me being that person in that moment, whether it's the trauma, whether it's the deeper understanding, and whether it's the lack of healing, whether it's like, it's so many things. And if they didn't happen, then I wouldn't have seen them or known about them. Or if they didn't happen so constantly until they almost pushed me to the edge, that I had now to see them and be like, hey, Apana, it's fucking up with everything that's my being and my, and just my boundaries. So I'm like, hey, let me just, no. Also journaling, I've been doing that a lot. Something I wasn't being able to do. Maybe I do voice notes or just come and lay a flow. But even the just the writing of it, and I have so many books. I was like, and yeah, that's why so many of my books, like especially end last year, I was like, that's why so many of the books I had during now that earlier that year, I was like, they are not filled, and I'm someone who feels and has stacks and stacks of papers, books, sketches, and whatever. I it's because I didn't have time to do that, and that's why even right now I'm like so happy I'm here and being able to do this. Um, Also, what else? I think it's just having time to be able to like either journal when you set your boundaries, and just your normal structure is organized such that now you are able to create room for rest. Because if the structure is not there, meaning your boundaries are not set, so like for me, I'd see if my boundaries weren't set, it means I prioritize other things and other people. And then for myself, by the time I prioritize them within that time, and a day just has 24 hours, then I'm like, and how about you, boo? So by the time it's my time, I'm dead as sleep. It's already the next day, and then again, it's like a cycle. So I was like, how do we break this cycle, guys? How do we break this cycle? Because it's looking all fun and vibes, but I mipango tunasonga tukisonga. So I think I've had to learn the hard way. Let me put this guy close, like somewhere there. Yeah, and I'm able to prioritize rest. And even now, like right now, it's so funny. Okay, universe. Last week I had a lot going. Like, because I wasn't able for the past maybe 2 weeks. I wasn't able to have my, the way I say, my Monday is my rest day. Even Sunday when I was recording last week, I was like recording, yes, but niko tu shughuli inaenda wapi. I have Sundays also, like sometimes family day, so like I'd have recorded and then I go link with farm. And yeah, so I had so many, and I realized I didn't have time because I had so much more. I had to finish a mix, and then I had to, bro hey bro. So the past 2 weeks, it's like I fell into a, you're not prioritizing your rest anymore. And then it's the week that also had this recording, so I'm balancing and trying to figure out pods, the bar session, the club studio. I know they have their days, but how they make sense so that one doesn't, like, editing of this falling into the next, like kuna venye tu zitakuja kulana because they all are relying on me, and then gongwe na client work kuslap mahali hapo in between, ama I still have to finish at the workshop and set up the space for creatives to come use the space. And like, it just And I granted myself grace. I was like, last week was the one. The other ones, you've been balancing. But and then what's even funny, I was like, I feel like the more now I've been recording, the more I'm finding the way around it and what works best for me, so that now I'm saving even more time. If I compare today and day one when I was recording, when I now did the challenge and I was trying to even edit, and every day I have to post. So I was trying to see if I can be consistent for 30 days, regardless whether it will be perfect content or it will just be content. And then I have now the pod and all these other things. So I feel like I thought since now it's come with these, now by day 30 nimeanza ku nikana just maybe it will be better, but now every time there's like a new additional element, it's like, but in all of them I'm like, yo bitch, you still have to rest, I don't know, you have to. So I think universe pia last week ilinihintia hivyo kasauti kwa sababu ya kuyap sana, and then naenda maybe out na interact na wase nini, like kuna hiyo sasa inakuwa extreme, so my voice had to also adjust to that. And again, as I've said, I think it's been 5 months of construction and na bado wanamalizia tu, but at least it's almost done. So, and the space in which I'm communicating or talking more is here, and the doctor had a very interesting way to explain it. And it's just like pollen, the grains are in the air, so the same with this, it's in the air, so it's just ikanipata tu. Yeah. Ooh, wait. I said I talked about setting boundaries, and there's also journaling during rest to like reflect and see how I can organize everything else. Another thing would be, yeah, just taking mindful breaks. So I've just been randomly taking those breaks, and I've intentionally tried that every day. If it's not in the morning that I get my time to meditate and and chill, then it has to be, even if nimeamka mapema lazima ningetoka tu mapema. Jioni nikirudi lazima I come create that time, because it's those breaks, and then you're like, whew, how was your day, Anjiro? You see, what would I have done better? Like it really has to be intentional, so that it's like feeding into the brain and it's a habit. Like you have to do it on a regular, because I remember when I started in October, when I was balancing between moving in, setting up, waiting for the other house to be done so that now I move again. Like I wasn't as at ease, and I couldn't even really rest, because I mean I'm coming from 6 moves. By the time I was at that dimension, I moved 6 times in Feb, when again my allergies, because of working in the small space, just caught up, and I had to return my workshop back home in Kikuyu. So I returned my workshop back home, and again, so it was moving my building things, and this one's already like, I think happened in two trips. And then I started moving some of my house things, which were excess decor that at the space at Dimension they were being used, but I felt like they were used and then ended up even getting damaged, and we rarely just use them. So I started clearing, because I knew now for me my moving again. By the time we moved there, I moved a lot of things, and I kept adding, and still a lot more because of building especially. So I think I then did my dad move to take the first shift of things home. Then around that time we were almost also now closing, I think around August, because I now had already found my house, and plans for moving had already started happening like in December 2023. So it's just that we couldn't share all those things. It's a mix of business, of personal life, of so many things. So there's no way you'd say that ati sasa tutawambia business yetu yote nini. Now it's like an announce, yo, my woodwork has nothing to do with Dimension 33. My personal life didn't have fully anything to do with Dimension 33 like on its own, but I was the same person in all those things. Is it making sense? So sometimes it was even getting quite conflicting, and I'm like, that's August, I'm already moving and planning towards my move. I'd already paid now the deposit for the house, because hiyo kumove ilikuwa happen hata. It's just, like once you sign leases and things, you just have to like finish your time with the lease. Is it making sense? October wasn't a very restful month for me, because I was tired with those still moving, the setting up my space. I think I was building something for someone. So I was like, that's client work. Hey, by the end of October, I was like, no. And then October is coming to an end, and then I'm moving in now the space. Remember, Zimisha Sasa Vizuri, I can now move in, and I'm like, oh my god, here we go again. So it's again another trip, breathings from home, setting up the space. So that's why I was like, the whole of November, imagine I'm committing it to setting up and nothing else. I won't do client work. And the universe just say, like, I won't have client work, I won't involve myself in the two experimental things I normally do. I just focused on that. And finally let's say I was able to find the balance, but I was tired. But now from November, like, and the last week of November into December, which was leading to my birthday, which was so cool because for me the new year began with my birthday, and it's quite crazy because by that time everything was already set to stone, and then I feel like I was now revising and figuring out my my new year. I was now planning now me in the new space and reflecting on what it is I've done. So I just got my box of the ideas and concepts and seeing what's the next move to, like, I think in New Year is when people are doing that, the New Year resolution type thing. Mimi already nilikuwa nisha resolute. Is it making sense? Nisha figure out what's happened. That's why I started moving, because for me I take it with my birth month. That's my new year. And yeah, ah, so the only free time I had was now for meditation and now self. I'd work out a lot, I'd stretch, I'd now finally like even paint my nails, I'd do those are the things I was able to do within that free time. So it's setting up and doing that, and and healing. Wow. Hey, it was some tough days, man. I was crying, I was releasing so much. I think I have so much in regards to that period, whether it's in journaling form or whether it's in music form. Because I couldn't understand, I, I couldn't understand what had just happened in some instances, especially in my personal life. And where journey to ilikuwa to your time. So I was happy to do fun things for myself as a constant reminder for that, but rest also, because now I didn't have any other extra responsibilities that weren't my own. And wow, I was just doing me, to be honest, and just figuring me and working on me. And hey, I think I didn't mention that I just started talking about all those other things, but I knew I'd get there. But it really did help having that extra time, having that extra day to rest. Also, those ones not rest on the weekends. I wasn't going out much. Every weekend would get, and I'm like, let me just go, let me go out, and I'm like, go out. Then the energy, is my energy ready to interact? Is it just willing to heal, to figure out whatever? I was just, yeah. So restful affirmations for today. I realized last video for um reflecting on joy, I forgot to do affirmation because I was already in the moment, I think. So for today's affirmation is, I give myself permission to rest without guilt. I think for me, I'm used to moving so much. So I think one of the things that I now was affirming myself, and that's why this is here. It's just like, I give myself permission to rest without guilt. Rest is not weakness, it's my strength. In rest, I find clarity and inspiration. In rest, I find clarity and inspiration. I give myself permission to rest without guilt. Rest is not a weakness, it's my strength. In rest, I find clarity and inspiration. And the reason why I even have all these two affirmations, these are things I was doing. So I was like, I think I'm doing this to help work on myself. And I'm doing A, B, C. I'm trying out all this other form, whether it's sound healing, whether it's somatic, whether it's, I tried all of them and experimented. That's another thing I was doing between that period, and I could see the translation in, even with my music. Like I'd be like, I used to just record and the flow comes first. But now it's like I have so much to say, so much to release, that it's coming out as natural as it can be. And when I had a conversation, someone told me, you only experience is beautiful because you have something to talk about. And I feel like when I set up I put myself out there like 2 years ago to test out all these concepts and whatever and however they went, like in all of it I gained experience, but I didn't know that the experience would like poof me in like in 2 years. And Jiro tulisema unataka kwa noma, so unataka kwa icon, unataka ku try hizi vitu let me show you and let me give you all of them in like a span of 2 years. In regards to now testing out my things, because I had to figure out things, but like after it's not even being lit, I feel like the concept of lit is because of what we consume or what we see or what we perceive from people. But like it was quite crazy, so I had to do this to like ground myself. I feel like that's what held me through the like those slow moments, those sad moments, those crazy moments. That whatever held me through was the need to continue pursuing, and this passion and this love for something that helped me keep going. But like I won't lie, guys, it was crazy. It was crazy. But I'm happy to be on this side, and that's why I'm even being able to share. I thought, let me put a camera up. And I tried to put a camera up to start this, and I just find myself so sad. Sometimes I'm crying. Sometimes I come back, I'm just happy. I'm sitting in a moment, and I'm like, oh my God. Sometimes I want to talk, and then maybe because I don't talk much to people. So I was also trying to find self in talking to something like to like the camera without it being talking in my own world, because I talk in my own world, and then now I just had to find a way around it. But anyway, um we're making tea. I think I need to share with you what's even crazy. Like right now, i'm making I'm making black tea, and it's like being able to work on myself. This is like being able to rest, being able to work on myself and deal with things has kind of reset my body. And then trying out all those how to heal, this type of healing. I've been doing some vocal. I can even feel like I'm getting back to my actual voice because of the vocal somatic type of. Yeah, you do some very weird shit to tapping into your own voice. And right now, I'm even telling you, it's like my body is resetting because I can now actually drink tea. I'd gotten to a place where, especially the last year, my allergies in all ways were like ting 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 ting. My lactose intolerance, my wheat intolerance, my tea, like normal just majani and the acidity reflux and all those things. All of it is, and it's because of that. You're gonna stress. You're doing so much. You're not resting enough. You're just moving. It's like survival mode, like life. But then see me risking. But it's like I noticed from December actually, and then from December into January, I started noticing change because I was doing it on a regular, like on a daily, and I was like, just 10 minutes for you and Jiro. 10. You don't get them in the morning, get them in the evening. Do something. Just breathe. Journal. Just do. And it ended up being even hours, and it's I don't even know, guys. It's quite crazy. My body is resetting right now. I can drink tea, but guys, rest is essential. Like heavy, and it's funny. The universe decided that Tuesday, when I was supposed to talk about rest, I was given another extra day to rest, because I didn't have a voice, and it's like, whoa. Yeah. So bye.